Anybody here can get it. Treat the game like a scrimmage now. Master B with the flow. I swear nigga got no limits now. I've been ballin' for a minute. Whole team full of winners. Anybody here can get it. You tuned into the realest now. Anybody here can get it. Treat the game like a scrimmage now. Master B with the flow. I swear nigga got no limits now. I've been ballin' for a minute. Whole team full of winners. Anybody here can get it. You tuned into the realest.
Right. Welcome everyone off the platform, episode 17. I'm Greg. I'm joined, as always, by my favourite co-host, Jackson Hinch. Jackson, how are you?
Fantastic, mate. How you going?
Awesome. I am great. No, we have a very special guest on today, Laura Sgro. How are you, Laura?
I'm fantastic. How are you guys?
Awesome. So glad to have you on.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
All
It was
good.
a very nice surprise when I got your message.
Oh, no, that's our pleasure, our honour to have you on. You're a very accomplished lifter. So let me just go through some of these accomplishments because we'll have a number of people that may not have heard of you in the past. So you're a 2-time Pro Raw Arnold Classic winner. You're currently second in the world for the under 60 kilos. You're number 1 in Australia for the under 60 kilos. I think your last major comp was the Kern, was it, in 2019, where you came first place for the under 60 kilo class?
Yep. And then Wildcats at the end.
Yep, Wildcats as well, yeah. So just so people have an indication of how brilliant you are. So you normally weigh in around about the 58, 59 kilo mark, when you come to compete?
Under 60s, yeah, 58, 59, yes.
Yeah, it's where you normally sit, yeah. So, and your best lifts to date are what? So I know you got a 227 kilo squat.
So
240.
the best lifts at Wildcats I did 240 and I was 62 kilos.
Yep.
And last year, even though COVID took Arnold's away, we did it in the gym on the Arnold day and I squatted 240 at 59 kilos.
Wow, that's awesome.
It was in the gym, unfortunately, but I did it, so.
You got the video? You got the video?
Oh, it's somewhere on social media.
Oh, so
yeah.
it's real. It's real then if you got the video. Awesome. And benching, probably my numbers are a bit out, eh? So what's your best bench so far? I know you've done 112.
Best overall bench is 120, and then I had the elbow surgery to remove a spur 2 years ago, I think. So been working with obviously Paralete and PB Physio and finally building it back up. So I'm hoping back for a 120 at GPC Nationals, either in a shirt or raw. We're not too sure which one yet. So
ooh, in a shirt, eh?
Yes, I qualified for the GPC Nats this year. I quit, but I'm also going to do the GPC States in April raw just to for fun because don't know what COVID's going to do or take anymore. So might as well just jump in everything.
Jump in and see what happens, eh? Because exactly, some comps will happen, some comps might not, but fingers crossed they all happen, eh?
I hope so this year, yes.
Awesome. And deadlift?
Deadlift is 205.
205. Those are some amazing numbers. So
Thank you.
let's, people are starting to think, how the hell did that happen? So let's go all the way back. So you started off as a competitive dancer and aerobics instructor, is that correct?
Yes, I was a dancer for nearly 20 years. I did competitive aerobics for I think about 10, and then one day I was just like, I'm gonna do bodybuilding, and then I did bodybuilding for a few years, and then that killed me. I did it the wrong way, and a bad coach at the time, not the one I'm with now. The one with now saved me, Scott Hill.
What happened? So can you take us through the bodybuilding history and what went wrong?
Yes, the bodybuilding history. I was severely underfed and overtrained and on too many peas. So, which I only admit, he really, really affected my health. So I got way out of that. Then I met Scott Hill at Paralete and he turned my life around and said, why don't you compete in powerlifting? And I was like, nah, I just want to do bodybuilding. I just want to get back to a healthy bodybuilding. And then he was like, no, do states and see how you go. So I did GPC states. Got invited to nationals that year, and then I won that year, and then I did the Las Vegas Worlds that year, and I got second. And then when I got back to Australia, I said to Scotty, let's do it. I want number 1. I don't want to do bodybuilding anymore. I want to be number 1 in the world in powerlifting, and that's where it started, and we just slowly built up from there. So, yes.
Do you want to say something, Jackson?
I was going to say the shitty coaches in bodybuilding, it happens in powerlifting as well, do you think that is less common now than it was, or more common? You know, like with guys trying to coach girls the same as they would coach males, or etc. You know, and prescribing them the same things,
Yes.
expecting their recovery to be etc.
To be honest, good question, because as you see, like we spoke about before, social media, yeah, you see a lot of bad coaches out there. You see them going, oh, I won a comp, so I think you should do this, this, and this, what I did. You know, they don't train them correctly in their technique. Everyone's different biomechanically, physics, like, you know, with all the physiology stuff. And yeah, I think there is some pretty bad coaches out there for powerlifting and bodybuilding, but I'm very lucky that I'm under fantastic hands. So, but then saying that, with all the people that compete with me in GPC, all their coaches I haven't run into one bad one. They're really, really good. Everyone's really good. So
Yeah,
social media, I guess. You look at it.
I think there's been definitely some good coaches coming through Australia because people are actually focusing on professional development.
Yeah. Yes, which I've noticed a lot as well. Yeah, a lot of professional development, and it's good. The sport's starting to grow, and it's going to grow healthy, not just go out, lift your max, get an injury, recover, and do it again. It's, you know, it's a lot different now. Everything's a lot different, I noticed, which is good, which is in a good way. Yes.
So Laura, I noticed you still, when we had a press chat, you still have the bodybuilding bug, eh? So you're still going to give it one last stab, eh?
I'm 3 weeks out from IFBB Pro today, actually, and I only did it because I didn't know when I'd be able to get back on the platform because of COVID. So last year after Wildcats, I said to Scotty, because I worked a lot during COVID as a personal trainer, I did a lot of hours. I really ran myself into the ground because, you know, as everyone, we had to pay bills. We weren't sure what was going on with jobs, with my fiance, and so by the end of last year, my body had enough, and I said, let's cut it back. Let's diet down. Let's see what I have underneath this powerlifting chunk. And and then so this comp's coming up in 3 weeks, and then after that, straight back to powerlifting. The bug's there, you know. I look good, but at the same time, I need to lift heavy and I want food. So
Yeah, it doesn't really allow you that in bodybuilding, does it? Lifting heavy and food.
Well, insane, like with that, definitely not food. But I have to say, in the last few weeks with my bodybuilding, because I actually really haven't had a break from, you know, the equipped suits and the wraps and the heavy lifting, doing a pure bodybuilding program, obviously with the 3 main lifts still, I still got to keep that. My strength's actually increased. And we use a device you've probably seen on my social media, GymAware and Flex, that helps with the velocity-based training, and it shows my strength and speed is increasing, and it just shows that I'm working on a lot of weak points that I haven't had the chance to work on because it was always, you know, Arnold's and then Kern's and then GPC States. I never gave myself a break. So in a blessing in disguise, the last 4 or 5 months of just doing bodybuilding and weak points has actually helped my strength. And I squatted 205 on the weekend, and I think I'm weighing 58 kilos and eating nothing. So I'm actually quite surprised. So I'm excited to see how I bounce back from this, actually, for leading into States.
So when you train powerlifting, do you train very vast? Like, say, take out the equipped stuff because obviously that's very, very different. But when you're training for raw powerlifting, do you train vastly different to how you're training now for bodybuilding?
Yeah, definitely. Bodybuilding now is 6 days a week, and you split, and you know, my shoulders are my weakest point in bodybuilding, so we do more shoulders. Obviously, my legs are not my weakest point, so I'm doing less legs. When it comes to powerlifting, it's just 4 days a week of the main lifts and weak point training. So yeah, no stepping, no cardio.
Yeah. Nice.
Were you surprised with the bodybuilding training that your strength was still increasing?
Definitely.
And with the reduced calories as well?
Yeah, it's actually surprised me, and it's excited me as well. I think the next couple of weeks, obviously my strength won't be the best, you know, leading into stage so close, but it has surprised me. I think it was a lot of mental strength. I didn't want it to beat me. I didn't want it to say, oh, I'm hungry and tired, so I'll back it down by 10% today. If it's there on the velocity-based training, it's there. I'm going up and I'm going to do it. And I did, and the strength's gone really well. And like what the boss said, I think just giving myself a break from the heavy lifts and really focusing on, working on glute weakness, hamstring weakness, back weakness has really carried over to helping my lifts. And obviously doing a lot of rehab on my elbow, I've had the chance to actually focus on that. So my bench is slowly growing too. So it's been a really good journey, actually. I'm really excited to see the rebounds, which I will put on social media and show everyone as well. So yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So obviously with sorry, Jackson, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say for this stage, like going back to bodybuilding, was your glutes, hamstrings, and back your weaknesses that you needed to work on?
My hamstrings, not my back. No, it was mainly my hamstrings and my arms that were my weakest.
Right.
But doing a lot of hamstring work and a lot of arm work has helped. Obviously, hamstrings has helped with the deadlifts, and arms has stabilized my bench. Working on more tricep work and bicep activation because of the spur that I had. It took a lot of strength away from it. So just doing that 3 days a week has carried over quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say that's like odd muscles to have weaknesses in from a powerlifting career. I was going to say, how the hell are you so strong if you've got a weak back and weak hamstrings? But obviously not.
I'm very, very quad dominant as.
Right. As you can see.
Yeah.
Yeah. What class are you going to be entering for bodybuilding then?
It would be the physique class.
Cool.
Yeah, because you'll be a lot bigger than a figure. You can't do figure anymore, can you? Surely.
It was funny when we started in November, because we were doing it for shits and gigs. The boss is like, just do, apparently there's a new one called wellness, which is kind of like bigger.
Yeah, no way you could do wellness.
I could do wellness, I think, yeah.
I was going to say, Greg would do better in wellness.
Yeah. I'm all about wellness, guys. Yeah.
We tried for that. We cut down for that. And before, the last few weeks looking into it, it was like I didn't think I was going to get lean enough to do physique. So the coach is like, you're there on the day, go into figure as well. And I was like, okay, I have to do all the pretty stuff. I'm not a pageant girl.
Yeah, because figures the heels, eh? There's no heels in physique.
No.
Yeah.
Weeks ago, we did a posing session, and the coach rocked up. He was like, yes, scrap that, you're straight to physique. I was like, yes.
Oh, wow. Straight. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Straight
nice.
in.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
My legs are too big. My back's too broad. Stomach probably won't be lean enough, but in saying that, I'm doing it just for myself and a few challenges as well. I'm not going there to get a pro card or anything. I'm doing it for a change in the last 7 years. So it's been 7 years on the stage. So
we're trying to get Jackson to do the same thing. He keeps talking about it every episode. It's on the bucket list, mate.
It's because you keep bringing it up.
Hey, let's not talk about the detail, mate. Yeah.
Wait, mate, wax and a tan. I'm good.
Wax and a tan.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
All right.
Yeah. Kind of glad the interview's today, because next week I have a trial tan, so you probably wouldn't have seen me if I got the tan on anyway.
Put the brightness right up.
Mm.
No, it's definitely because Greg, you've done it. What did you do, a show or just a photo shoot, a pretend bodybuilding?
No, I did the first off I did a pretend photo shoot, just to see if it could happen, because I was a fat powerlifter, and I lost 40 kilos, and I did the photo shoot. I'm like, wow. Then my coach at the time, Geordie, said, let's do a show. So I did a novice.
Yep.
Won a class, and I was buzzing after that. And then I did an open event after that, or a year or so after that, and then came third in a class in some backwater place in New Zealand, and I'd killed myself for 16 weeks, and I thought, fuck this.
The Meta Classic.
Yeah, some Shitsville classic, and I thought, no, I'm just not cut out for bodybuilding. It was obviously it was a huge buzz, and it's great when you've got your moment of glory on the stage, and just seeing your body transform as well, just to see what's underneath all those rolls and folds and so forth is amazing.
It's a good, because like I said, it's been 7 years, and the first time I did bodybuilding, it wasn't heavy lifting, it was cardio and light training and no food and all the other shit. Where this year, the last 7 years has just been pure heavy lifting, eating, and no shit. So it's going to be really interesting to see how I love seeing the changes. Like, I don't like feeling the fact that I can't keep my eyes open for more than 2 hours.
Yep.
I'll just, work around it.
You obviously stay pretty leanish throughout the year anyway, because if you haven't lost too much strength, then your leverages obviously haven't been affected too much by the loss of like body mass.
No, it's what's actually quite interesting is I think I was like 62 kilos in November last year when we decided to start cutting down, and the lightest I've weighed average over the week is 59 in 20 weeks. So I've only lost 3 kilos on the scales, but obviously the body fat has dropped dramatically. So yeah, so the scale weight's maintaining, which is good for muscle mass and strength and all that. So it's really exciting to see. So I think I would weigh in very light when we do a water cut and, all that salt cut and stuff that we have to do a couple of days out. But other than that, it's been good to stay like this. Then
So have you done a cut before, a water cut, at least for a powerlifting show?
Yeah, I hated it. Did it, I think, for one nationals, I went in the under 56s. Was it under 50? Would it be under? Yeah, under 56s, long time ago. And I was
did the 56s at Worlds as well, didn't you? At that Vegas Worlds.
Yeah, but I was very lean then, so
okay.
Okay. And then I tried to do it again, and running around Surface Paradise trying to find a bloody sauna. Yeah, I'm doing that again. No way. I'm staying at 60 and I'm fine there.
Because your usual walk around is what, early 60s when you're training powerlifting?
And then about a month out, I start to, cut out the yummy foods as such. And then a week of comp, we do a water load, and the boss we've got it really down pat now of how much water to have, salt to have, what foods to have the week of. And I always weigh around 58 lowest or 59.8. So we've done. Scotty's got that down pat at the moment. It'll be interesting to see after this. Now, coming from being so lean and reversing up to maintaining it.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen you compete. You're pretty lean anyway. Like, to be fair, for a female like powerlifting athlete, you're pretty lean anyway. Just for the people at home, how tall are you? Not very.
5'1", 5 foot something.
Yeah, just because they'll be all thinking, 60 kilos, that's whatever, they won't think that that's big, but on a 5 foot frame, that's a lot of muscle packed onto a,
Yes. Well, I think I'm only a little bit taller than Steph Cohen, so forehead. So
So let's move into the events as well. So in terms of your competitive history, you've done a shit ton of comps since 2015
as well.
Yeah, and you're pretty much packing about 3 or 4 events every year, if I'm looking at this correctly, other than last year, obviously.
Other than last year, that's correct. Yes, and I think that's why not last year. Last year was shit, but I think that's why having the bodybuilding break, like having the break and doing bodybuilding was good.
I don't blame you. Your joints and so forth must be worn out.
Yeah, they definitely started to feel more the nervous system than anything else. I started to feel it started to kind of break down a little bit. So we had to. But in saying that, I'm a stubborn person, and my coach warned me, and he's like, "No, give yourself a break. No, give yourself a break." I'm like, "No, I've got this. I'm fine."
Yeah, too late. I've already entered.
Pretty much. That COVID kind of forced the break onto me. I'm quite grateful that I took that approach. So I
think it's forced a lot of people to take stock of where they're at, to have a rest if they needed to. And
exactly, so I'm hoping it'll be good to see a lot of people bounce back from this, actually, like in the next couple of weeks in all the GPC states, and hopefully see a lot of people really bounce from it.
Good. So you'll do the which states will you do? You do the New South Wales states,
Yeah, New South Wales. I'm going to do it with a coach, which will be fun. So
your coach is going to compete with you.
We usually do Pro Raw together. He said he was going to do states. It was funny because there's another bodybuilding comp at the end of March, and I said to the coach, I was like, if I don't do Physique in the February one, I'll suck it up for another 4 weeks, cut down, and do Physique in March. And he's like, yeah. And then when he said do Physique, he goes, stuff it, jump back on the platform. I was like, done, let's do it.
Cross mom.
So yeah, we'll do the one at Warrior in April.
Nice. We had obviously, I don't know if your friends Kate Mitchell on the other weekend. So obviously, a lot of similarities between powerlifting and bouncing back and forth with the bodybuilding.
She's incredible, that one. Jesus, her body, yes. Yeah.
So you two have obviously competed a fair chunk together as well over in Australia.
Yeah, she's I think under 90. Her weight class is a little bit higher.
75.
The pro raws, she would have done the 75s.
Yeah, 75.
She's sitting at about 80 at the moment.
Yeah, she's lovely. Yeah, I've spoken to her a few times, seen her a few times. And then I see her on the bodybuilding stage a couple months after. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. She, another one, yeah, she trains quite lean, stays quite lean, and manages to just bounce between the two. Even chucks that strong woman in there as well. Was that ever, I mean, probably not, because you're a little bit like vertically challenged, but. Yeah.
Jackson, are you full of the compliments at the moment?
I'm trying to be as PC about it as I can, mate.
Vertically challenged.
that works against you in strong woman, surely. Like, so has that ever taken your curiosity at all, or
it's the stones, eh? If you're not tall enough, you can't get the stones up onto the thing. Yeah.
At our gym at Powerlifting, we have the mountain and strong men and women people there, and we've had the strongest woman. Susie, unfortunately, that passed away a couple of weeks ago. She was there. Lance is there, and Lee Hollanine, she's one of the strongest women. They train with us, and we've mucked around a few times. We've pulled, trucks and cars and done the stones, and that was a lot of fun. But as soon as I done a stone, I broke a nail, and I was like, I'm done.
I'm out.
I'm out. Yeah.
Nah.
not the sport for you.
Yeah.
Pulling the car was a lot of fun. We pulled a 11-ton truck once a few years ago. I was quite chunky then, and that was so much fun. That was a buzz. But not my thing for that one. I love watching them. Like, their events are incredible, and when they train with us every Saturday down at Powerlifting. Their training's really good to watch too. So, but I stay in my squat rack. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a similar conversation with Kate in that, like, obviously trying to balance and be good at all three of them would be too much. Even just trying to be at the peak of both bodybuilding and powerlifting is enough challenges there as it is.
Oh yeah, like I even find with the bodybuilding, my strength has gone up, but the thought of my strength's gone up with powerlifting but the thought of doing heavier and continuously doing heavier and cutting is quite draining. Having to take a bit of time off work just to get home and rest, then chucking on a massive powerlifting session. Yeah, that's quite challenging to do. So mixing it together off season is fine, but yeah, cutting and then doing that, like the way we're cutting now, it's hard.
Yeah.
But I love the challenge. I'm always up for a challenge. Always.
Favorite event you've done in recent years?
Oh, Pro Raw, straight up.
Straight up. Yeah,
Straight
wow.
up.
Okay.
Incredible. Kearns is amazing. And I'm feeling like they invited me to Co this year, but obviously I'm like, if you can pay for me to go there and, stay there and quarantine when I get back.
Yeah.
Kearns event is fantastic, but I have to say the best event I've been to is Pro Raw. It's one of my favorites, and I miss it so much. So I can't wait till it comes back.
Are there any plans? I haven't seen anything. Hey, are there any plans this year for Pro Raw?
No, I don't think so. We spoke to Marcos. Me and Scotty spoke to Marcos a couple months ago, and we asked, do an Aussie Pro Raw, you're going to do something, but then the cases got worse, and that's when I think we all had masks and shit to shops, and then so we just kind of
because it's always around March, isn't it? So
so it's gone.
Which it's not going to happen until the vaccine's kicking in.
I don't think Arnold's going to fly over anytime soon anyway, so.
No, I think he's been vaccinated now. He would have been top of the queue.
Oh, well, he can come. That's fine.
So you have got with your big events anyway, like the Kern and I guess Pro Raw, you've got some top level competitors that you usually go up against. Take us through some of those ladies as well, because obviously Steffi Cohen's one of them as well, or Dr. Cohen, as she's known.
Pardon? She's
Dr. Cohen. Is it Dr. Cohen? That's her professional title, isn't it? Yeah.
She, I versed her. I didn't verse her at Kearns. She went into the under 56s to verse Mariana. I think those two were toe to toe to get a certain amount of Wilks or something. But yeah, no, Steph. I versed Steph at Pro Raw, and yeah, she's the one I'm chasing. Like as a person and as a competitor, she's lovely. As a competitor, I'm like, I'm gonna get you. Like I need to be number one. I will get there one day. It's going to take me a long time because she's one tremendous athlete. As we've all seen on social media, she's just unbelievable. But yeah, I was like, oh, I'm coming, girl. It might take me 10 years, but I'm going to get there.
Get there eventually.
Yeah. The numbers, I mean, you're not too... Sorry, Jackson, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, she's just, she seems to have taken a bit of a break. She's sort of branching out into other sports. She's doing a bit of boxing, and again, another multi-sport person doing a bit of boxing.
Incredible, yeah. I was spewing because I was meant to, when we were obviously organised to go to Kearns last year before everything happened, we're going to do a session together, and I organised to do deadlift sessions and stuff with her because that's what she's got got on everyone, I guess, is a deadlift.
Yeah, I was just looking at the numbers now, because I mean she's getting she got 240 at the Kern,
Yeah.
But your squatting and benching's fairly similar, so you definitely you're on equal footing when it comes to those two. But the deadlift, she's got 30 kilos.
Deadlift.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, at Arnold's, I think I did like a 530 total something, and she did a 565. And then last year in the gym, when we were meant to do Arnold's, I did a 555 total, and I was like, oh I'm
so close.
Those behind you, like.
Yeah.
I think her best total is like 585, and that's future for me. Like I'm. Near a 600 total for me would be my dream, and I'm not stopping anytime soon. So I would love to get there. But yeah, that's my long-term goal. And yeah, she's incredible. Steph Cohen is, and then Jen Smith as well. Like she's really good. I remember the first time I watched her, I was like, oh my god, who is this girl? Like she's come out of nowhere. She's great, and she's a lovely girl too. So. But I haven't seen much of Jen lately, but I'm hoping to get back on the platform with her again. So, yeah, have some good competition out there. That's always a good drive.
Because for Australia under 60s, it's sort of you and Jen.
Yes,
neck and neck.
Yeah. It usually is us, usually toe to toe.
I saw you did, obviously when you did Wildcats. The only weight class obviously is under 75, and so you did it around 64, 65.
I was 62, I think, 62 something. Yes.
Oh yeah, dope. So and then you hit it was 550 odd around that, wasn't it, as well? Anyway.
Yeah, it was a 555 total, and I said to the coach, "I'm doing that at Arnold's the year after," which I did
in the under 60s.
The under 60s, and
cool.
I did it. It was
just in the gym. Yeah. But that's cool though, because I mean at Wildcats you were still top 5.
I was fourth.
Yeah. With it, like a 13 kilo weight.
Yeah.
Difference. Because a lot of those girls would have done a weight cut to even make the 75s. I mean, some of them are jacked.
It was funny. I when obviously making weight, I was the only one in the weight room eating my chips and stuff. And, down and weighing in and just under 75, and I'm like eating, and because the coach is like, just for shits and gigs, just have something to eat and then
eat
go
in front of them. Yeah.
So I had breakfast. I weighed in full clothes and shoes at 62 kilos. So.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the numbers now, like give or take, everybody's within 1 or 2 kilos of that 75 kilo cutoff, with the exception of Lauren Green, who came in at 68. So.
Yes, that's right. She did too. Yeah, she was good. She was fine. Yeah, me and her.
But you're everybody was within 1 or 2 kilos. So, imagine. I mean, would it have been any different for you? Have you tried going heavier in terms of body weight?
Oh, I don't. No, I'll be too chunky. I don't think I'll just roll.
You just roll off the platform, man. Yeah.
I don't think. To be honest, I don't think my body, in a way, I can't say would handle it. We can all eat more, but I think I'll just be more sluggish. I don't think it would carry over as much for my energy. I think I would be more sluggish in the sense of just from eating too much and not the digestive system not working.
Yeah.
Like 62, maximum 64 kilos, I could do. Anything above that, my body, it just
Yeah, we've talked about that quite a fair bit on this podcast, and people have that kind of sweet spot when it comes to their competition weight. And everybody knows when they've gone a little bit too far beyond that.
You puff tie in your shoelaces.
Yeah, and your hands are swollen.
And your hands swell up.
yeah, and you're sweating when you're sitting down. It's not a good sign.
Exactly. And the thought of eating more is sickening. It's just, no, I'm not up for that. Like,
yeah,
I am.
So you wouldn't go any heavier I mean, because for you, would you say that you're actually, because you pull conventional, yeah?
No, sumo now.
Oh, you pull sumo now?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, so main videos of her doing sumo and with the velocity based system, taking records, and I see the number comes up 0.35 and it goes into the green. What does that mean? Does that mean that's perfect?
Yes, so we're working off, so the speed is pretty much like a percentage. So on the day on the program, it's the boss is like, all right, you're going to work at a 0.35, which is around an 80%. So if it hits green, that means I've hit 0.35. If it doesn't, then obviously I have to either back the weight off to make sure I hit that. So I've said a few times in my post, I think I did 170 for 5 the other day and I finished at a 0.28, but the boss wanted a 0.3. So he's like, all right, well, next week you're not going heavier until you get a 0.3. So, and then, it works with that. So the green means I did it.
Can take us through the whole system, because just so we know what the numbers all mean and you know what the 0.3 stands for and so forth. So what's the system is velocity based training. So
that's correct. So a rough estimate is anything above a 0.5 is mainly just speed, and that's, just for practice work when you're doing your light speed work and everything and making sure it's above 0.5.
Okay. So you're told at the beginning that you need to be lifting the weight at this speed at a 0.5, 0.3, 0.2, That's the...
Yeah, so the aim is to move the weight at that certain speed, and that helps us with certain percentages and also with our training. So for instance, so I'm not a repper. So the coach will turn around and say, all right, I want 5 sets of 5 at 0.5. So I won't know what the weight is until we work it, you work through it. And then, but what we've noticed is after 3 reps, I'll go from a 0.5 down to a 0.2, which means my last 2 reps are technically pointless. So we scrap that and do 5 sets of 3 to make sure I'm hitting 0.5, and then my fatigue management's better, my speed rate's better, my strength rate's increased as well. Instead of grinding out a 5 repper when my body just dies off in the ass, we work on the percentages and the speed for what suits my body. And then, I've got clients and stuff that, play gridiron and swim, and their endurance is through the roof. They could do 10 reps at 0.5 and not die, but then they can't grind anything out under a 0.5 like what we can, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So just for the people at home, sorry, because people won't know, but the point is it's meters per second, yeah?
Correct. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Cool.
And Gym Aware and Flex have kind of come up with a rough base of, 0.5 is the speed work. Anything anything below a 0.5 to a 0.3 is more strength based. Anything below a 0.3 to a 0.2 is working around your max.
Right. Okay. Cool. Do you have any people that actually end up like below that, proper grinders?
Pardon?
Do you have any people that end up working below that 0.2? You've seen some of those disgusting grinders that take like 10 seconds.
Yeah,
we just look at it and turn it off.
Don't record that one.
So that's not meant to happen in a training session.
No. There's been a few times where, we've gone for a single at a 0.2, and we usually go for our singles at a 0.2, 0.25 around 2 weeks out. So we roughly know where our second attempts, maximum third attempts will be. If you're having a good day, it's good. If you're having a bad day, you're looking at a 0.18, you're like, oh, yeah.
That was slow.
Yeah.
Let's come back a little bit, shall we? So it's really good. It's really helped a lot with, especially with fatigue management, I have to say. So we did this experiment, and it's on my Instagram and on GymAware's Instagram. We did it with GymAware for Wildcats. You know, they took me on and said, look, let's experiment you using this device and watching your progress using speed, because we've never done that. We've always done reps per exertion. So at first it was so frustrating. Like, I was only squatting 150 for 0.4, and I was like, how am I going to progress? I can't do this. You know, chucked a little tanny and then sucked it up and listened to the coaches, what we all should do. And within, I think it was 4 months of using it, my total increased by 20 kilos. So only said the weight difference was only 2 kilos on the scale, so it wasn't that much. But from Arnold's and Kern's March and April that year to Wildcats, and all we did was do the GymAware Flex device on the velocity-based training, it was incredible. Like, my nervous system didn't fry, my joints were better, because we just went to what the speed was, you know. And if that's what it is on that day, that's what it is. You don't go and watch the video and go, oh yeah, no, an extra 5 kilos, I can grind that out, that's fine. It's like, well, no, that's the speed and you're not hitting it, so take the weight off and do it again. And then if you want to go better, then you hit it better next week, and then the week after you can go heavier.
So you've got a device, yeah? That's it's an app, I'm assuming, that's attached to your phone. And
it's yeah, so you buy the device from Flex, and then you download the app as well. GymAware has the same thing, but they have their app on like, you put on an iPad computer system. That one's a little bit more advanced as well. But for ourselves and our clients, we use a Flex device, and it just clicks onto the end of the bar, and the app's on the phone as what you've seen.
Oh, wow. It's actually on, okay, so it attaches to the bar as well.
It's only like this big, and it just goes straight into the bar.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really
So is it one of the ones that has like the string?
No, that's GymAware. GymAware has a string. That one is, that one's a little bit more expensive, but that one does so much more. That one does like your depth of the bar, the speed of the bar.
Oh dear. Did you say the depth of the bar?
Yeah. So
goodbye refs. Who needs refs anymore, right? That's the computer won't lie.
Do you actually think that could be a thing?
It makes sense. It makes sense. I mean, machines are better than people at the end of the day, eh? I mean, there are other factors at play, obviously, but you know, when it comes to repping any kind of sports game, there's more and more technology coming in. So why not bring technology into powerlifting? I mean, it hasn't changed in 40 years, so give or take. So, you know.
Improvement I had from Arnold's to Wildcats, and it wasn't because I gained weight. Like I said, 2 kilos on the scales is nothing. I went from a 530 something total to a 555.
I was gonna say, yeah, you went from squatting, you squatted 210 at the Kern. I just got open powerlifting. You squatted 210, and then squatted 240 at Wildcats.
Exactly right. Yeah.
That's sick.
And yeah, the 240 was definitely a max, but I think if we were grinding it on the day, I could have had a 245 on a massive grind.
Yeah. That's the thing, you knew where it was though. That was the thing with the speed training you've been doing. You knew exactly where it was.
And what we did as well, we recorded our warm-up speeds in the prep. So during the warm-up at the back of the platform, if the speed wasn't there, then we can change our openers and go, okay, she's a bit tired. You know, she's not performing at her best. Let's change our openers. Or what the hell are you doing? Wake up and do it again. And make sure the speed is what it has been in training. Because if it was in training, it's obviously either mentally, you know, zoned out or whatever.
It's interesting because it's one of those things. Obviously, you have to understand what you're saying, like what numbers you're supposed to be hitting. But it's basically just another data measure to then actually tell you are tired or you're not as fucking strong as you think you are or whatever. Whereas people these days with RPE, I see RPE fucks me off so much. Sorry, but it does. I hate it.
That's how you really feel, Jackson.
Because everyone's like, oh, that was I hit 500 pounds for an RPE of like 6.7985, and I'm like, how the fuck are you that exact?
Yeah.
It was slow as shit. It was at 11. Fuck off.
Rep, you just made it, so please tell me how that's a 7. Like, yeah. No, we used RPE a lot in the beginning, obviously, because that was kind of the biggest data thing that was going around. And then, like the coach got on top of this, and then it took, like I said, it took a couple of months to get my numbers and what my speed should be. And, but since then it hasn't changed. Like now, what I squatted 165 for reps for the last 3 weeks, and it's gotten at 0.02 faster each week as I've got, so we didn't record the 205, but that was just to shits and gigs because I can, but but
so a lot of lifters will be doing this intuitively, I'm guessing, but is it a lot of lifters, or is that something that just comes with time under the bar? Because are you getting to the point now where you can almost feel in your mind, okay, that's a 0.27 or that's a 0.21? You're nearly there. So does the tool eventually become redundant, or does it become like a second set of eyes, like a second coach, so to speak?
A set of eyes, because it's, I could say, I can squat 165 for 0.5, but then on a day I'll go for a 0.6 and I'll be like, oh, holy shit, where'd that come from? But then sometimes it would be less. So I kind of find as a second coach, I can't really say, oh yeah, that's my number at that point, because every day in circumstances of life, it's different as well, tired, hungry, not tired, what time you're training. Like I find like at the moment I'm trying to train at 4 o'clock in the morning, so it's done and I can actually go home and sleep at night after work instead of training till late. Obviously my numbers are a little bit different because I just woke up. So, and I have no food on my system. So I kind of find it as a second coach as well, which is good. Which is, it's helped so much. A lot.
So with your powerlifting training, were you training at 4 in the morning with powerlifting, or obviously it's the bodybuilding thing at the moment?
No, it's just bodybuilding.
I don't know. I don't know anyone who can powerlift at 4 o'clock in the morning, but I was hoping to meet the first person to be able to do it.
No, sorry, no.
No.
Training is at night with we have barbell clubs at Paralete, so we always train at night, like Monday, Wednesday, Saturdays at lunchtime. But I'm getting bodybuilding done in the morning, so then I can just put my headphones on and get it done, and then I can go home after work. Don't have to train, because we usually train to about 10, 11 o'clock at night with powerlifting, because powerlifters, like, we all have a good chat and have our 15-minute breaks and have something to eat in between. But and yes.
No, it's interesting. I've never really thought about it myself, because I've just never had the equipment to do it. But it sounds like it quantifies, like you say, that thing of like, because I quite often will have videos where I'll record pretty much every set that I do most of the time. Yeah. And you have some sets and just to go back over it, and I'm like, oh fuck, that felt hard. And then you go back and look at the video and you're like, oh, it's just you're just having a bad day or whatever. So it sort of quantifies that for you. Actually, you should be going heavier, even though you feel like a sack of shit. You should be going heavier.
Honestly, the Flex device, it's about, I think, $500 or $600, but it's one of the best things. We've got 2 or 3 at our gym, and it's one of the best things that I've also seen my clients. I use a lot with my clients. Most of my clients just qualified for the APU New South Wales comp today, and I didn't push them at all. Through training, they were hitting 0.4s, so they were only hitting between a bit of strength and a bit of speed, and every single one of them qualified today, and not one of them had to max out. And they've got their states in 6 weeks, and then I'll push it a little bit more. But with their training, and the same with us, we only have maybe 2, maximum 3 sessions where we actually go to a 0.2 to a 0.3. Other than that, it's
interesting.
It's really good. Like, if you really look into, like, I'm not the smartest person, but I know it's all physics. If you really look into the physics formula behind the speed and the power, it's incredible. It works really well. Yeah,
definitely. That's just what I'm thinking. I'm the nerd that found powerlifting, so I love that sort of shit.
With yourself, if you read into the physics side behind it and how it carries over, you would love it, because that's where, like, my coaches got into it. They just absolutely loved all that stuff, and it makes perfect sense of how it works and the way it works as well. So it makes perfect sense, and it's helped. Like, it's proven. Like I said, a 20 kilo increase is ridiculous, and it's not like it's novice gains. I've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, it's not like it's newbie gains where you first teach someone how to squat and they...
Nah, newbie gains are long gone. But yeah, so it was incredible. Yeah, really excited.
So shameless plug, who are the companies involved, and how do people get a hold of them in case they want to explore
So
further?
and Flex Stronger. Or Flex Strength, Flex Strength. So they're the same company. You go onto GymAware and you go onto their website, you can find each of the devices.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
We'll be sure to include that in the show notes as well, team. So just in case people miss that.
It's also I made my own Pocketrocket program logbook, so you can log all your training and stuff. And I've got in there their websites and what it is and how to do it as well. So if you go on to Loaded, they have my logbook in there, and so the BBT training information's in my logbook as well.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah.
It's good to learn something new every podcast, Jackson, eh?
Yeah, it's great. It's honestly, it's one of the things I was interested to talk to you about because I've never done it. Just because it's one of those specialist bits of kit that most places won't have.
If you love, like you said, the nerdy side of things of training, you will honestly love this. Like it's one of the best things that we've done, especially like I said, fatigue management. Because working as a personal trainer, my hours are all over the place. I work 60 to 70 hours a week.
Wow.
The fact that this has helped me increase that and my fatigue management of lifting and improving it, it's incredible. I'm very, very lucky.
So with your personal training business, they're all in-person clients or a mix of online, in-person?
No, I don't really like doing online. I'm not a tech savvy person. I'm all one-on-one, or I do like a lot of the group training stuff as well. So I have a lot of group training for bikini models, bodybuilders, powerlifters. My main clientele is powerlifters and strength trainers. I do a little bit of general pop, but I mainly do the powerlifting and the bikini side of things, or bodybuilding side of things. So more one-on-one at Power Elite. So
take us through. We're always curious, and I'd be keen to hear your opinion. Powerlifting's exploded in Australia. What do you put it down to?
Interesting. I don't know, actually. I find because it's exploded a lot in women as well.
Yeah.
Kind of find that it's starting because the word's getting out there that women don't have to not train weights. Do you know what I mean? Like we can still be strong and still lift heavy weights and still look like a female. I kind of find the way social media perceiving things now is very different. Like, look at this female or older lady deadlift 60 kilos. Like if she can do it, I can do it. And, we're out there now showing that we can be strong, not we have to take all these drugs and, you're going to look like a man if you do this, you're going to do that. And also I think this fun side of powerlifting as well. Like, we're a big, huge community. So I think it's more welcoming too. It's not as scary, if that makes sense. You see some scary videos and you're like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do that. I don't want to meet them. But then I think all the novice comps that are being run around the States and, having that bigger community, that bigger family base is inviting more people in and making more people more comfortable as well. And obviously, the benefits out there, science has gotten better. So the benefits of lifting heavy weights, eating properly, fat loss, muscle gain, has helped a lot too. But I find it's the community, the family side of it. Like, especially at our gym, we're really big on family. So every comp that we run, it's, we always have a massive barbecue after, always having fun after. It's not scary yelling at each other. There's a lot of laughs, there's a lot of tears, there's a lot of fun. I think that's what's made it bigger as well, made it more comfortable.
Yeah.
Do you think for people it's easier to work into their lives than bodybuilding?
Yes. Correct.
As such, you can just sort of train and still live a somewhat normal life if you just want to do it and have a bash. Obviously, getting to the level that we have, you have to. It's a different story. But the initial
collective we, or is it just two of you?
Have what you will, Greg. Honestly, take it as what you will.
I'm gonna go with the we. Yeah.
All right, the we. All right, that's all three of us.
All three of us. Yes.
All right.
Yes. All right, team.
So Greg's like the first boss.
The
You pass like level 5, you have to fight Greg.
last time I actually competed in powerlifting, Laura, was this event? This is Federation here actually. So
yes.
Carpa. Cup. Yeah, it is Cup in New Zealand. Yeah, so even though I'm involved in GPC now, I've never actually competed in GPC.
Has it been that long?
It's been that long. Yeah, no, I looked at it. I thought,
Jesus.
Jesus, the Fed started in 2013. So, yeah, I think the last event I did was a Cup in New Zealand event. Yeah.
Mate, 7 years clean slate. You're not even
7
a
years.
powerlifter anymore.
Oh no! You got to within 10 years, mate. 10 years is the rule.
No, the law in New Zealand 7.
No, we spoke to Chris Kennedy, mate. No law.
Sorry, just to go. So, Laura, for you, even when you were powerlifting, since you were competing like it's a weight class sport. Obviously, you're in a calorie deficit now, and you try and sit around maintenance or surplus calories when you're doing powerlifting. But does your nutrition, like your food choices, etc., drastically change, or just the amounts?
Just the amounts. The only thing with powerlifting is that it's more freedom. Yep. So, if I wanted a donut instead of an apple, I can. That's it.
That's the swap. A donut instead of an apple. Calories. I love it.
Yeah, apple donut. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, well, because what we do, and I think that's again what's made things in the fitness and powerlifting obviously industry easier is calorie counting. So if I count my calories to maintain my weight in powerlifting, because obviously I don't need to look lean, I just need to keep a weight scale. I just got more freedom. Me and my fiance will go out to dinner or we'll have a kebab. As long as it fits in my calories, then it's okay. But other than that, most of the time my food hasn't changed at all. It's just for bodybuilding, it's cleaner. As soon as I get back into more calories, I'm going to eat exactly the same foods. It's just I'm going to have that little bit more freedom of having the donut if I want it, or having a little bit more peanut butter if I want that. That's all. As long as it fits in the calories. So yeah, my food doesn't change drastically. I just get a little bit more freedom to it.
Are you going pretty ultra strict at the moment with your diet, with the bodybuilding coming up in 3 weeks?
Yeah, definitely. There's no processed. The last about 12 weeks, I've had no process, haven't gone out. Everything's prepped. I'm very lucky to be sponsored by Fresh Fit Foods. So they've prepped all my food clean, meat, veg, rice, all the basic stuff. But nice. I'm not like, every 2 hours I have to eat kangaroo and I have to do this and do that. Like I'm mixing all my food up. I'm not doing old school bodybuilding. I'm having my peanut butter, my yogurt, my fruit. It's just cleaner. That's all. Nice. Yes.
So you're not down to the white fish and asparagus every 2 hours, 7 times a day.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, it is. Oh.
Calories in and calories out, that's all.
Yeah.
I know we're going to have a couple of listeners. I think we've got a couple of listeners in the US who'll be going, Jesus, they eat kangaroo?
Yeah, no.
Kangaroo? Isn't that like a fluffy animal? No.
Kangaroo bangers.
Yeah, no, I can't eat that now. No.
So in terms of the Kern, how did that come about? Was that an invite that you were sent? Because it was a WRPF event, wasn't it? WRPF, yeah, the Kern. Yes. So was that what's her name? I can't remember her name.
Gracie.
Yeah. So yeah, Gracie. Yeah. So she sent you an invite. You must have been stoked, though.
Oh, I remember I was at work and I got the invite and I thought it was a scam. And I went to the boss. I was like, "What the hell is this? Like, what was this?" And he's like, "You just been invited to America." I was like, "Are you fucking kidding?" Like, I'm like, "Can we go?" He's like, "Yeah, let's go." And then I called my partner. I was like, "So we're going to America in a couple of months." He was like, "What?" So once it sunk in, I was over the moon. And then, once we got there, I was like, I want to do it again. And last year I was meant to do Kerns and I was meant to do Bosses of Bosses as well.
Oh, wow.
Yes, but don't know when that's going to happen again. But yeah, no, that when I got that invite, that was incredible. I got invited to Bosses of Bosses the year before, but I had to have the surgery on my arm because I couldn't bend it properly. I mean, I couldn't straighten it properly. So there was no point competing until
Which arm? Right arm?
This one. Yeah.
Oh, so yeah.
Like that's, yeah, that I can't.
I noticed on some of your benches at the Kern, your right arm doesn't quite straighten up as quickly as your left arm does. Yeah.
So that's it now. That's forever. So wow. I just got to that I tell the judge that's it. And if you try to force it, it's not going to work. So we're doing a lot of rehab now. I'm working around it and working the muscle groups that were weak before and learning how to drive it with triceps and, rotators instead of using everything else that I was trying to do. So, but yeah, so I couldn't do the Boss of Bosses the year before. So when I got invited to America again, I was like, oh, I can't turn this down. This is cool. So yeah, it was very exciting, very exciting.
What was the venue like? The people running it, the lifters, all very welcoming, professionally run?
Yep, professionally. Yeah, very, very, very good. All the weighing was very good. Everything was done properly. We were on a really high platform, which was really cool as well. The audience was like underneath us, which was really cool. Yeah, no, it was great actually. Very, very well run. Very happy with that. Yeah.
That's at the Kern. It's at like a sports festival as well, yeah.
It was only a smaller one. It was only a small festival. It only had a couple of things on the side.
Right.
One like the Arnolds.
Yeah.
It was more in a function center in a way. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nice. The So for you, So I mean, obviously you've done Sydney Cups. How was that transition to equipped?
That was interesting, actually. That was very, very interesting. I was very excited to try it because I'm like, what can my body do with this? And it didn't do much more than what it could raw, but I've only done it for 3 months. And the coach is like, I'm like, I expected a 50-kilo jump like everyone promised me.
Whatever everyone told me would happen. The suit's supposed to lift it for me.
Yeah.
I don't understand why I'm in pain and I'm bleeding. But anyway, no, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the suit. And so I want to do the equipped nationals. We'll see. Obviously, it's going to depend on how my body bounces back and everything as well. But I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I think the best squat I did in the suit was a 230. I didn't get into a bench shirt only because of my arm. We're still working with it. But the deadlift suit was the most interesting. I couldn't deadlift over 190. I couldn't drive my hips through fast enough. So the suit lifted it for me. And then I got stuck because I couldn't physically catch it together, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so, timing's got to be good.
Yeah, and that's what the boss said. The boss is like, your timing's got to be good in all of them. If not, you're not going to get it. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, but no, I understand. Like,
now you know.
Oh, I understand it. Like when we were doing a test day at the gym, 190 flew up and then I fell and I was like, what just happened? And he's like, yeah, he goes, we got to, so we're obviously more practice, like anything, when you first get into wraps, it's very weird when you first get into wraps, going from a normal squat to more of a vertical squat in wraps too. So having the suit and wraps, it was very interesting, but a lot of fun. So we'll get back into that soon, but slowly.
So it was just single ply, yeah?
Yeah.
No, not 3 suits in one yet.
And Loaded helped me out with all their Inza suits. That like Loaded just kept sending them. They're like, try this, try that, try this. So I was good with that. So I'm hoping to get back into the bench shirt, but we just got to see. Like raw is obviously the thing I want to do. It's not worth tearing a bicep if that's what's going to happen in the suit. So yeah, it was more for shits and gigs because again, don't know what's happening with comps. So
yeah, it's a rough situation at the moment. No one's got any.
It is, yeah, but yeah, we'll get back into it. We'll play around after bodybuilding, and probably after states. Might jump into it every now and then we'll decide what we'll do at nationals because I'll qualify for both. So for raw and for equipped.
And is raw and equipped nationals at the same event?
I think so. I'm not too sure. I could be wrong, but I haven't seen anything yet. I've only saw the GPC nationals they posted. Was it last night? That doing it and the invites are going out. So
I've got a feeling that because Scott's running the Open. Queensland Day, so I think he's just doing the Open. I've got a funny feeling that the Richie boys are doing the age and equipped together at the spring nationals. But I could be completely wrong on that. Yeah, I thought I saw something. So usually separate the two.
Yeah, that look, they'll probably come down to finances too. If I'm going to go to Queensland, boss for raw, I won't be able to go to Western Australia and do it there. It just we'll just play around. Even like I wanted to use the suit more for overload training as well. I would love to compete in the suit, again, just to, try to bring it back. It's always good fun. Not a lot of people do it at all.
No, it's not that big in Aussie, is it? Equipped lifting. It's not as big as it.
At Sydney Cup in November, squatting 230 or 225 in the suit. So it's not big at all. So it'd be good to bring it back, but that just comes down to whatever the coach decides, really. Whatever.
Because there's really, there's no reason. Equipped lifting lends itself to a good team around you, and obviously with most Australian gyms, there's a really good team in the powerlifting gyms. So, there's no reason why equipped lifting couldn't make a comeback.
Yeah, it'll be good to help it come back. I'd love to do it. Like, if Pro Raw's not happening for a while or Kearns isn't happening for a while, there's no harm in jumping in equipped and mucking around for that for a year and then going back to Raw for the year after. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the future will hold with all that too.
I noticed. I wanted to just quickly touch on the fact that you still do the national event, even though you're at an international level now. Why is that? Is there still a lot of prestige associated with competing nationally?
Well, to be honest, this year was because I didn't have anything else. So I haven't done nationals for a while because of Arnold and Kearns. I think it's been probably 2 years since I've done nationals.
Yep.
But yeah, this year was because I wanted to get back on the platform. I wanted to keep Pocket Rocket growing, and I wanted to try to grow my total, to grow my ranking as well. So, and I can only do that at nationals now.
Okay, yeah. So there's probably a bit of a business element to competing nationally as well, because obviously for attracting new clients and so forth. Is that part of the appeal?
Definitely, people will start. If I keep getting my name out there, hopefully, obviously, people start recognizing me a little bit more. I don't want to go on the hiding and just say I'm an international lifter. I want to be an all-rounder too. Once international lifting's back, I'll focus more on that. I won't kill myself and do 5 comps a year to make sure I do nationals. I'll just focus on the international ones. But at the moment that there is none, I'll keep doing the national comps.
Yeah.
It's always good for a state comp, see all the regulars again that I haven't seen for a while. And
it's good, It's good. Yeah.
Which is always good fun. So yeah.
Nice. And you'll be seeking professional status one day, I assume. A powerlifting professional.
Hope so. Hope so. That would be very nice. That'd be very nice, especially down at Power Elite. Yes, but I need to get number 1 first. That's my name. That's my aim.
Nice.
So that's not number 1 in the world under 60. That's the big goal.
My goal. It could take a long time. I might not get it, but I'm not stopping until I give it everything I've got, at least. So I'm only 30. I've still got enough in the tank if I look after myself, which I will. We've all learned the wrong ways. So I've learned a few wrong ways, and now I'll fix it up and go from there.
So the current record under 60 is it Steffi Cohen? Is it at 560?
I think it's 565.
565.
So yes.
Is it that one from Pro Raw?
Yes. Yeah.
562 and a half.
There you go. Yeah.
So that's the big goal, is 565 to beat it, really.
And then after that, slowly creep up to a close of a 600 total, which will take forever, but
10 times body weight.
Exactly. That would be incredible.
It's got a nice ring to it. For you, to be fair, you've done that 240 squat, so that's 4 times body weight. You've benched 120 pre-elbow, so that's double body weight.
That's the deadlift.
And that's the deadlift, to get the deadlift up to 240, and that's your 10 times body weight.
If the aim would probably be close to squat 250, 120, and deadlift a 220. That would be more realistic. My deadlift is just the slowest one.
Don't do that. Don't do that. That's 590. Don't stop on that. You can't stop on just about there.
Go 230 deadlift.
I'm gonna say, don't leave yourself hanging. 595 or 590.
A 227 deadlift. It'd be a 500 pound then, and I've done a squat and a deadlift 500 pound. That'll be nice.
Yeah. Does that? What do you reckon? The 565 couple of years.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah.
2022 into 2022.
That would be nice, yeah, because as we all know, we get to that top level and then everything slows down. The BP takes 2 years. So the next big thing will be my bench and my deadlift, and then the squat will slowly build up from there. So
do you find that interesting describing that to clients? So I personally, I had a very similar experience. My biceps and shoulders are horrendously sensitive to squatting.
yeah,
And it took me 2.5 years. I benched 225 in 2017, and it took me 3 years to get that 500 pounds, to get that 227.5. And
yeah.
people were looking at me like, why did you take 3 years for 2.5 kilos? I'm like, I just kept going, keep pushing, pushing. You know, I'm sure you've got clients that are hitting PBs every few weeks.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
ask me all the time, why didn't you squat a 280 in the suit when you got in the suit? You should be able to do that. And I'm like, can you put 280 kilos on your back?
Yeah, good comeback.
I had to, you know, professionally say how the body works, and if it did work that quickly, we would all be at very top level very quickly. You know, and just explain the situation of how the body slows down, and you know, weak points come in place more, and we've got to work on that. It was the same with my coach. I think it took Scotty, maybe 4 or 5 years to go from a 185 bench to a 190. So, you know, and it's just the way it is, I guess. And when it gets to our level as well, it's to just creep away slowly at little things and try little things and creep away and take each PV as it comes. So
for you, were you? Sorry, we're going. This interested me. I just remembered about the start of the discussion. So you did. I've got two things: competitive aerobics. What is that? How does that work?
So, what do you mean? You don't know it, Jackson?
Mate, I don't. Honestly,
you look like an aerobics kind of guy to me.
Is it like those 70s like tights, like ankle warmers, headband?
It's like a Les Mills class, I think, isn't it?
No, what was that? Sorry.
Like a Les Mills type class. You have Les Mills over there. Those Les Mills classes.
Yeah. So no, that's that used to be my job. The Les Mills classes and stuff. Competitive aerobics. So you know the Olympia, the fitness section in the Olympia, how they do all this and the split. It's like that.
Oh, what's her name again? The Miss Olympia figure. Fitness.
Oksana or something.
Oksana Krishna. Yeah, so that was kind of like that, is it? That's almost like aerobics. Oh well, no, it is aerobics. It's like gymnastics. It's just like a combination of aerobics and gymnastics. It's flipping and wow, that's impressive.
Similar to that. No, there wasn't really any flips. Obviously, you had your compulsory kicks and spins and push-ups and all that as well. But it was a 2-minute routine like that, and it was just performing your strength and your flexibility and your endurance. And so I did that for a long time. That was and then I remember one day I was sitting in the gym and I was like, I want to lift weights. I don't want to do this anymore.
We all have that thought.
I know. I called my mum because, you know, coming from a little ballet dancer and doing competitive aerobics in a nice sparkly leotard to going, I'm going to do a bodybuilding show.
Shock
and horror.
No.
My little girl.
Bodybuilding, it was like, because obviously bodybuilding, you got to be on stage and pretty and all that. I was like, I'm going to do powerlifting. And Mum's like, oh my God.
Are they supportive of your efforts these days?
Sorry?
Your parents are supportive of what you do now?
They kind of just say congratulations and leave it. Like, they're definitely like, they're supportive as, you know, family is, but they just get, I think that's just more of a scary thing. Do you know what I mean? They're like, oh, what if you hurt yourself? Or what if they do this? And I've also got an Italian background. I really should be married with kids by now. So where, you know, I'm not, and tattooed and lifting heavy
weights and doing bodybuilding and
a normal female should be. So, but too bad.
And sorry, and also the when you were younger, would you say, so obviously we were just saying about how you'll chip away for these small incremental gains, which to me, I attribute that to a part of the genetics of the sport as such, because most people would say, fuck it and leave it. So that's one of those genetic things that people don't see. But when you were younger, were you quite like, obviously you were quite sporty, you'd done dancing and stuff for a long time, but were you quite strong and muscular for a younger female, or what other sports did you play?
Well, I just did dancing and aerobics, but I actually suffered anorexia when I was 16.
Right.
Oh, wow.
So, it was more of a body image issue for me when I was younger. So I think I got into all that because I was like, oh my God, I got to look like this, I got to look like that, rah, rah, rah. But then coming from that, my whole mindset changed of like, no, women don't need to look like this. And I got myself healthier. I was unfortunately in an abusive relationship too. So I had to find myself again and work from that. So yeah, definitely not so much of chipping away. I think I was more scared of body image. And then after that, I was just like, no, this is what I got to have to do. I need a better, I need to perceive women to be better out there. Like, we don't have to do this. We can look like this. We can be strong like this. And yeah, it was, I was always sporty. I was always mentally strong and in saying that, stubborn.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think over the history and the past, it helped me become a better person and lifter at the moment of chipping away and doing the process and doing all that too.
So do you get people these days and be like, I always get it. I came from very skinny. I was 60 kilos when I started lifting weights, and I've been as heavy as 132.
Yep.
So do you get it these days? And people are like to me, oh, no, you've always been a big dude. You're just good at that.
Yep.
Do you get that as well from people? Like, do they say like, obviously, so you come from an anorexic background, so obviously you weren't always strong and always muscular. Do you get it these days? And people are like, oh, but you've always been like that. You don't know how hard it is to work or whatever.
Yeah, I get it. And I get but you work in a gym, so it's easier for you.
Yeah, that old chestnut, yeah.
Like, please tell me how. If you can tell me how, it's going to make it easier for me, then tell me. Like,
yeah.
I do get that, but you're just small. So, of course, it's going to be easier. Your leverages are easier for you. You've always been a tiny person. It's like, well, no, I've had a lot of battles I had to fight to be happy within myself and to find my maintenance and to find where I'm at. But you know what society's like. That's just people.
Yeah.
So, I think, Laura, do you think powerlifting attracts, those on the fringe or those who have had a really tough time? Do you think
I do.
It's a haven for misfits, so to speak, or Yeah.
I do. If you see a lot of posts from people within our federation, men and women. I think was it Dylan the other day? He posted something about he was struggling a bit too. I find powerlifting has definitely helped a lot of people in that sense. It's just the feeling of strength and it's not well-being as such as just powerful
confidence,
and
strength,
and progress. I think is a good one for people because most people get stuck in a rut in their usual life.
There's always something I find in powerlifting to work for. It's not getting a better squat, it's keeping your knees out, or if it's not improving a deadlift PB, well, how can I make my glutes stronger to make that happen? Do you know what I mean? There's always something in powerlifting that people can work towards. You don't just disappear. So, and I find that's helped a lot of people, especially that get stuck in ruts, because when you get stuck in a rut, you just shut the world out until you can, if you can get out of there. It helps. Yeah, I find it does.
And obviously being a sport where, hey, your 50 kilo bench is your 50 kilo bench. No one can take that away from you, and it's accepting, isn't it? Regardless of age, you can be 14, you could be 84. What you do in the gym is what you do in the gym,
Yep. And you bench the bar and everyone's still so like, oh my God, you're amazing. Like I think there's support behind it as well. And the wow factor of, oh my God, you can do this. And I can do better at this each time is helps a lot of people too.
Nice.
Yeah.
So long-term plans, do 5 years ahead, 10 years ahead, is there anything on the horizon that you are aiming towards?
Number one, baby. Number
one, eh?
That's it.
Beautiful. That's awesome.
I always talk about it and my partner's like, but what about a house and what about a
Number one, baby. Number one.
Don't worry about that.
Number one will pay for that.
Exactly, yeah. Sponsors will pay for that.
Yeah, don't worry, it'll be fine.
Thanks, lifting.
Yeah, but that's thanks guys. No, that's definitely on nothing will get in the way of that. That's what I want, and that's where my vision is, and I'll do anything I can to get there. Anything
awesome.
I can. Yeah.
Does your partner train?
He trains, yeah. He God love him. He started doing bodybuilding prep, not to step on stage, just with me, just
Nice.
so.
Oh, good man.
Yeah, understands. I've also asked him to have a few days to himself, so I can have a few days to myself. We're both towards the end, but no, he trains with us. He did compete in a few state comps for APU, but like it's not really his thing. He's just doing it for health and fitness and support of myself. So, but yeah, I think the bodybuilding's kind of like, he's like, oh, are you doing this again?
That's the next step.
Yes.
That's cool though, to have like someone who's, he'll train to like be around you and have a go and stuff and do it for himself, but he's still supportive of you doing it like hunnits.
Yeah, it's been, I have to say, it's been tough on him because, I'm like, oh, Melbourne, oh, America, oh, sorry, I won't be home for a couple of days. I'll be home late because I've got to train. And, it's, oh, I can't eat this, I can't eat that. But he knew that when he put the ring on the finger. So, and it's been 4 years, hasn't gone anywhere yet. So,
Nice.
yeah, so it's a lot easier, put it that way. Definitely a lot easier.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, yeah, a lot of people having that support around you definitely makes it is easier, because obviously if he was like, oh fuck that, like why are you at the gym so much, or it just wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work.
Yeah,
it would, like, and and I said that from the beginning, like this is life with me. And my family warned him as well, because they've obviously seen me do bodybuilding and dancing before, and they were like, this is who she is. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. And obviously the support that I have at my second home, or let's say first home, the gym, is incredible as well. But it just makes it a lot easier. Yeah. Otherwise it just, like I said, it wouldn't be 4 years.
yeah, definitely.
So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, Laura, we'll wrap things up. Shameless plug time. Who would you like to do shout outs for and thank yous and so forth?
All right. Biggest one, obviously my coach, Scott Hill at Power Elite. I say it every year. I usually say it a lot at my birthday when I've had a few drinks as well.
Coach number one, family second.
Yes, yeah. Scott Hill has changed my life. He helped me with everything, get me through a lot of shit. And I'm the lifter and the pocket rocket I am today because of him. So yes, definitely. Obviously family for the support. My fiance. I've got 2 step kids as well, and they're slowly understanding. It was their birthday yesterday, and they're like, "Are you having cake?" And I'm like,
oh, I would love to have cake, trust me.
I said, in a couple of weeks I'll eat the cake with you.
Yeah, I'll eat the whole cake.
Yeah.
Okay. Definitely loaded lifting number one. They give me everything. They everything, like from apparel to sponsor, like with the sponsorships, to helping me get to comps. So help me pay for my comps in like rough times. They're just absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Always supporting me, always sharing me, always helping Pocket Rocket grow. Loaded lifting team is one of the best. And obviously, as we all know, I'm in the GPC world too. Now they're sponsoring the nationals. Oh, it's great. So I thank them. Obviously, Gen-Tech supplying all my goodies for before, after, during, pre-workouts, especially now, the amount of caffeine I need now. Who else is there? Goliath has given me a lot of bars too. They gave me the Deadlift Pink bar. Oh, that was so cool.
Nice.
All my PBs went up because it was a pink bar, so that makes
nice.
Fresh Fit Foods, they like I said, they've catered for all my food. Even leading into powerlifting, when I can eat, they give me bigger meals. They write down the calories for me, the macros, everything. So they've helped a lot. GymAware, Flex devices helping us and still educating us with all that stuff. And I've got I've got little sponsors around locally too that help me. I just wear their name and I help promote them. They help promote me on social media. So yeah, everyone that's supported me, and my Power Elite family, like they're beyond the best. I've been a bit obviously tired the last few weeks. So they've just been there for me. I've had to message them a few times and guys, it's fine. I'm okay. I'm just tired. But all clients and friends and family, they're incredible. So yes.
Cool. Hey, well, thank you so much for coming on the episode tonight. Really appreciate it.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Your message really surprised me. I didn't think it was a scam. I was really excited this time.
We're not quite a big enough deal to be scam emails yet. Damn it. All right. Damn it. That's the next step.
Scam, yeah.
What the fuck is this? No.
Well, we look forward to keeping an eye on your career and seeing that 600 kilo total inch closer and closer, and that #1 status in the world.
It's gonna be there. It's gonna happen.
Nice. All right, Laura. Thank you for coming on. Catch you later.
Thanks for your time, Laura.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yeah.